All right, so we are talking to Mark. Man, I am excited to do this. Well, my first question is right up front, why did you choose real estate sales over other coaching companies?
I did my research, and I think this was a good way to start off. Um, there was a little bit of money involved, but I figured, everything I'd done and all the different people I talked to, you guys were the most down to earth and the most honest as far as there's work involved. So, everybody else was, this is a piece of cake and blah, 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 which is a bunch. Can I swear?
Yeah, they'll beep it.
Well, I knew it was a bunch of because, it's just
Right,
anything that easy is a lie, because
right.
then everybody would be doing it. It's just like when, my father asked, how's it going? Has any money? I'm like, listen, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And, there's work involved. So,
Right.
I knew that going in. So,
So from your expectations at the beginning to the what you have now, is it what you expected, or is there some things you weren't expecting?
there was plenty I wasn't expecting. But, you know, I, even though as I get older, I think I know a lot. And then, all of a sudden I get slapped and find out I don't know shit. It's awakening.
And I think every new adventure business is a learning curve. I think it was Les Brown that said that you succeed through your failures.
Agreed.
So very, very important. What do you think is the most important part for you? Is it the mentorship? Is it the leads? Is it the training? What do you think is really the most important,
God, I
or
hate it.
or the most highest value? Maybe we'll put it that way.
I think the coaching, most definitely. If I was just to be doing it on my own, um, I, I like that we have similar characteristics. There's no beating around the bush.
Right.
It, I don't mind getting knocked off the podium, and being told I have to do this or I have to do that, even though I think I've been pretty pretty good with you, as far as listening and trying to do what I'm supposed to do. So,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
it's still a learning curve. There's some parts I picked up easy, and then there's some parts, that took a little more work, that I wasn't as comfortable with. But, once you start doing it, it seems to fall in place, and everything. Um, I have just did 3 ads for the first 3 that I picked up, put them in at the beginning of this week. Took me a little bit longer, but just wasn't comfortable. So it took, but after doing it, I was surprised at how easy it was.
Right.
Sometimes it just takes a little bit more to push to get it done.
You were kind of overthinking it, like I did on my first few.
Yes. I had everything laid out, looked at a bunch on Craigslist. What can I do that's going to be different? Obviously, I'm going to have some sarcasm. I have a POS, and I'm going to put most beautiful property I've ever advertised, and then I'll be kidding, and then, something like that. But I'm going to do it down the road. It won't be my first, because I want to wait and see how some of them come out.
Right.
So,
Well, what do you think of the training? Did we do well? Is there anything that you've wished there was more of or less of, or that you wish that there was a higher quality of?
Nick, that's hard to say. I think, you've been, I'm picking everything up. If there's something I'm not, you already know the spreadsheet took a little bit because, I had no concept of Excel before we started. And, that took a little bit, and it's still plugging in everything, but it's fallen into place. But, like you said, I had to look it up online. I mean, you can't explain some of it you have to make mistakes on. Saving is very important.
Right.
And, the mailers for me seem the easiest. Stuffing them, the physical part has always been easier for me. Thinking things through, sometimes I overthink them, but it is what, and I don't like the line a lot, but it is what it is. You've got to put the time in. I'm putting more and more, I think every week I spend more and more time working on this than I did in the beginning. So, I mean, it's all good.
But you've started seeing the importance of many of the aspects,
Yes.
especially since I keep hounding you on this main spreadsheet.
Yeah, details.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All right, so I got to hit on the leads, and then we're going to move on to you. But the leads are important. Now that you've started doing some research and started looking at it, I'm starting to teach you a little bit about the leads in the details and how to look at them. And I mean, that costs a company a ton of money to build the system, to get those leads every month, to keep them fresh. I mean, what do you think of them, and what do you believe do you believe that it is crucial to your success and what you're doing?
Hell yes. I mean, you can't. I'll give you an example. I posted one of the ads at the beginning of this week, and I got a call from she sounds like a young lady, nice, and she's like, "I'm a wholesaler," and so I'm like, "So am I," and we start talking, and she started working with another company, but she's not doing mailings. Obviously, if she's making phone calls on stuff on Craigslist, or she's going to auctions, and I've already learned that auctions are a waste of time. But the mailings, one function I went to 3-day weekend, they were like telling you so much BS that by the end I knew it was because it was just like, I see that stuff all the time on the roads. The little signs of stuff stamped on a pole signs on corners, and then they're gone the next day because somebody's pulling them up. I mean, if you're posting them, the amount of money spent there, I think that goes to waste compared to mailings, which is a numbers game. I've always known mailers were important, but this has just proved it.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've had great responses, great calls, great site visits. You've got some contracts under your belt. We're just so close for that final little step. And
Hell
then
yeah.
I've told you from the beginning, once you get one, you'll be unstoppable. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt at all. Well, Mark, I appreciate that part. The reason that I wanted to call today is to understand where you're wanting to go. And I kind of gave you a little bit of what I'm looking for. So, we obviously know where you want to go, and that is forward. And we want you to grow. We want you to become an investor. So this part of the business is the risk-free part of the business, meaning we're teaching you how to learn how to invest without any risk. I mean, you're not putting your life savings or all the equity in your home into another home to lose it all.
Yeah.
Go bankrupt. And that's where a lot of investors start. So I want to know where you are headed. So to back up just a little bit, right now we've got a really, really good target, but there's no rings. So we need to hone it in a little bit. No, we need to hone it in a lot, because right now the goal is monthly. And I don't care what anybody says. If you are focusing on monthly goals, you will go insane. I think the monthly goal is great to get you to where you're going. My mentor, coach, always asked me, Does what you're doing today get you to the goal you're trying to get to in the end? If the answer is no, why are you doing it? So let me ask you, have you thought about that? Have you thought about where you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years?
Yes. I've got it written out.
Cool. Cool. Well, this part here, I want to hear it for me because we're going to go back to this as we go because I'm going to save it in your file. So tell me, what's your 1 year goal? Where do you want to be?
I'd like to have 100,000 or earn 100,000. Newer vehicle, buy my mother and father a second vehicle, work on my diabetes, lose another 5 pounds, have 4 closing a month, 2 deals a week, work 6 to 9 hours a day, 40 to 50 hours a week. And that's it for starters.
Okay. So that's your 1 year, or is that
That's
5?
my 1 year.